That's your cue, baby.
I now call this session to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Would any senator like to lead the chamber in the pledge?
Nay.
Okay. With that, I guess I'll go ahead and say the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America. Oh.
Nope. You can do it. You can do it.
God damn it, Lewis.
We're supposed to say it with you.
You can do it.
Fucking autist.
No, I'm Maltese. I don't know it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Beautiful.
All right. With that, I will now call the roll. Okay. The self-appointed Secretary of the Senate would like to call the roll.
Senator Webby.
Present.
Senator Clark.
Present.
Senator Walker. Senator. Oh, he is. Okay.
Senator Walker is present.
Senator Jasity. Jasity is present. Senator Sawyer. Senator Sawyer is present. Senator Rockwell.
Present.
Senator Rockwell is present. Senator Lego Trooper Boy.
I'm here.
He's here. Senator Dakota.
Present.
Senator Ford. Senator Ford is absent. Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston.
It seems Senator Charleston is taking a bit to type present.
I'd like to remind the chamber to stay in order.
Talk.
Senator Charleston.
Tap shoulder.
Oh, it's any day now. He stopped typing.
Oh boy.
This is quite interesting. I'm still not sure if Senator Charleston is present or not because he hasn't stated so in the chat.
Oh, okay. While we wait for Senator Charleston to wake up.
Chat isn't working
With
right
8
now.
present, 1 absent, and 1 that doesn't try to fucking type, we have a quorum.
If Senator Matt Charleston would like to DM...
Here we go.
Hello.
7 minutes later,
Alright.
Senator Charleston is present.
With 9 senators present and 1 absent, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
You're welcome.
The Secretary will now call the agenda unless anyone opposes.
Okie dokie.
As no one opposes, yeah.
S1202, the Municipality Act of 2017, presented by Ramsey Clark. S1203, the Military Benefit Act of 2017, proposed by Senator Walker. S1206, the Safe Campaigning Act, presented by Webby 678. S1207, the Department of Defense New Jobs Act of 2017, proposed by Senator Jasity. S1208, the State Emergency Act of 2017, presented by Senator Jasity. S1209, the Speedy Trial Rights Act, presented by Senator Charleston. S1210, the Military Group Ranking Act of 2017, proposed by Chief of Staff of the Army, Arthur J. Hamilton. S1211, Amendment 27 to the Constitution, I think. XXVII.
Yeah, that's 27.
By Senator Charleston. H.R. 1201, the False Statements Act, presented by FBI Director Gatsby. H.R. 1202, the Safe Asylum Act, presented by Challenge Project. H.R. 1203, the Stolen Valor Act of 2017, presented by Representative Combatant. and H.R. 1204, the revised Nonpartisan Intelligence Act of 2017, proposed by Representative Gatsby.
All right. Now we will move to opening remarks. Would anyone like to request the floor? Would anyone like to request the floor? With no one requesting the floor, we will now. No, we're not doing that, Charleston. We will now move to the first item of the agenda, and the floor is now open to debate on S1202, the Municipality Act proposed by Ramsey Clark. But
Mr. President, I request the floor.
I'd like a link to that.
It's
Thank you, Miss.
Click the hyperlink, and you can go do it.
Which hyperlink?
The very first one.
The one that says Municipality Act.
What the fuck? Mr. President, do I have the floor?
You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I'd just like to thank everyone for being here. The Municipality Act, I propose that I don't know which Congress, the 10th Congress, it was denied because people thought it would get nothing done. But after several years of being in USA, we have grown a lot, and I've seen that we could use some more independent governing of the city, or you could say district, away from the federal government. This is also an opportunity for those that are not directly interested in being in the federal government, such as the House of Representatives, the Senate, and the executive. This is well needed, and I yield.
All right. Really quick, because Rockwell decided to talk a lot. All in favor of adopting the agenda, say aye.
Yay.
Okay. With the majority of senators, the agenda is now adopted officially. Would any senator like to request the floor?
I'd like to request the floor.
You have the floor, Senator Lego.
As Lewis said a few moments ago, he put this bill forward a couple Congresses ago. And the reason it failed is because we realized that we only have one city. There's no need to create these more positions to be filled, because we can barely keep our current Congress full for more than a week or two. And it would be foolish of us to create more positions when we already have departments that are they barely have enough members to stay viable. For an example, the Metropolitan Police Department, they're charged with protecting our one city. They're barely up and running, and a couple other departments too. It would be very foolish of us to adopt this act. Thank you, and I yield.
All right. Would any senators like to request the floor? Would any Senator Charleston has the floor, and his message will be said once he types it out.
I'll narrate it. This
Okay.
bill is a waste of paper and a waste of trees. I love the trees.
Okay.
Sad.
Angry liberal.
If
I love
the chamber
having
would
that.
stay in order.
What the fuck?
I love Trump. So in other words, he has brain
Mr.
damage.
President, I motion to force yield.
The senator has yielded. Does any senator request the floor?
Mr. President, I motion to force or Continue.
Senator
Force.
Sawyer, requested
Mr.
the floor.
President, I think what Senator Frisch is trying to say that is that he would like to motion to move to vote on the current proceedings.
Do I hear a second on the motion?
I second the motion.
That's not how that works. With Senator Morgan J. Sawyer seconding the motion.
Well, I didn't fucking see it.
we will
should've said-
now proceed to voting on S1202.
I got you. man.
Will the secretary please call the roll?
I got you, bro. All right, Senator Webby, what you voting?
Abstain.
Don't you vote?
Pussy.
All right, Senator Clark.
I vote yay.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Senator Walker. Senator Walker votes aye. Senator J City. Aye, I got you, fam. Senator Sawyer votes aye. Senator Rockwell.
Aye.
Senator Lego, he votes nay because he has to piss. All right. Senator Dakota.
Aye.
Okay, he votes aye. Senator Charleston votes nay. All right. Hold on. Oh, that's weird. Hold on. Give me 1 second because for some reason these formulas aren't counting that bottom row. Okay, with there we go. I fixed them. With 6 in favor, 2 opposed, and 1 abstaining, the bill passes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Secretary. With that, we will now move to item 2 on the agenda, S1203, the Military Benefit Act of 2017, proposed by Senator Walker. We will now open the floor to debate. Would any senator like to request the floor in debate? Senator Charleston, you have the floor. Please make it relatively quick.
Okay.
Yes.
Senator Charleston says, all right, so this bill is pretty well written. I like it. Timothy is a good man. I yield.
Mr. President, I request the floor.
You have the floor, Senator.
This act honors our members in the military in a great way, and I believe they should somewhat receive benefits, but equality should be for all. Now, let me give an example of what could happen. We're giving pure acceptance to those that are in the military for more than 30 days. What if this member becomes a rogue member of the military? I've seen several members in GMF's military be there for several years, but then go rogue. And according to this act, a director or chief cannot deny that member, so even if they try, they would be prosecuted. And this is also a possible loophole. Someone who could be absolutely shit at protecting could join the military for 30 days and join the diplomatic security service with no problem, causing the Truman and security and the secretary's security to be at stake. I yield the floor, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Senator. Does any other senator request the floor?
I request the floor.
You have the floor, Senator Lego.
As Senator Lewis was saying a few moments ago, I agree with this bill. It's we need to give benefits to our military veterans, especially at a time where our military is developing and it's developing fairly quickly. But it also does need to be amended to stop, like he said, rogue members and for other situations where it just really wouldn't work out. Thank you, IU.
Does any other senator request the floor?
All right, I'm back so I can take roll.
Okay. With that, we will now proceed to voting on S1203. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Senator Webby.
Nay.
Ooh, okay. Senator Clark.
Nay.
Senator Walker. Senator Walker votes in favor. Senator J City. Senator J City votes aye. Senator Sawyer. Senator Sawyer abstains. Senator Rockwell.
Nay.
A or nay?
Nay.
Okay. Senator Lego Trooper. He votes
A.
aye.
I mean, nay.
Nay.
Yes. Nay.
Okay. Senator Dakota. Okay. Senator Dakota. Senator Dakota. Dakota, you gonna vote?
Let's just say he abstains and move on.
Yeah.
I mean, he told me he was going to vote nay, but yeah, that can be an abstention.
Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston votes aye. With a very close vote of 3 in favor, 4 against, and 2 abstaining, the bill fails.
All right, thank you, Mr. Secretary. We will now move on to S1206, the Safe Campaigning Act, proposed by Senator Webster. We will now open the floor to debate. Senator Charleston, you have the floor.
Senator Charleston said this bill is similar to the one I proposed. Last week, okay. A great bill. Vote aye! Exclamation point. Make America great again. I yield.
All right, does any senator wish to speak? All right, we will now move on to voting on S1206, the Safe Campaigning Act. Will the Secretary please call the roll?
Senator Webby.
Aye.
Senator Clark.
Aye.
Senator Walker. Senator JCD. Senator Sawyer. Senator Rockwell.
Aye.
Senator Lego Trooper Boy.
Aye.
Senator Dakota M990.
Aye.
Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston votes aye, with 9 in favor, none opposed, none abstaining. The bill passes.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We will now move on to item 4 of the agenda, S1207, Department of Defense New Jobs Act, proposed by Senator J. City. We will now open the floor to debates. Senator Charleston, you have the floor.
Senator Charleston says, all right. Webby, I'm not Angela.
Well, you talk like it.
I have a record.
Oh, okay.
I actually think Charleston is a new Angela.
This bill is great. I yield.
All right. Does anyone request the floor?
Mr. President, I request the floor.
Mr. President.
Because Senator J. City is unable to speak, he'll have the floor first. Okay, anyways,
Oh, okay, go ahead.
we can do different voices, Terrence.
Take my job.
I mean, if you want to do it, you can.
No, if you insist, Webby.
This bill is very good and will provide better things for the Department of Defense. Please aye it.
Add some emotion, Webby.
And Matthew, STFU, I yield.
Mr. President, I request the floor.
Fuck
Would
you,
anyone...
Lewis.
Senator Lewis, you have the floor.
Thank you. I do believe this act could be useful in the future, but as of right now, we're still struggling with employment for combat positions in the military. Is there something funny?
Yeah, the screenshot.
Okay. Once we see more positions filled in the military itself, I would like to see this act proposed again, but as of right now, it's not needed. I yield the floor, Mr. President.
Does anyone else request the floor?
Mr. President, I request the floor.
Senator Rockwell, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now, I agree with my colleague here, Senator Lewis, that while this bill may be useful in the future, a lot of the jobs that have been outlined here are pretty much useless when it comes to roadblocks, such as Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence. When we have a fully capable intelligence agency, as the CIA, that is barely functioning, how can we only add on to the system of our United States by adding in another useless rank to the Department of Defense that wouldn't really be doing anything other than, a seat warmer, you can say. So I suggest that we nay this bill for now, and if the need should arise later on, we can bring it in again later. I yield, Mr. President.
All right. Do any other senators request the floor?
I motion to vote on the bill.
Do I hear a second?
I second the motion.
With a sufficient second, we will now continue on to the session and voting. Mr. Secretary, will you please call the roll on item 4?
Senator Webby.
Abstain.
Senator Clark.
Nay.
Senator Walker. Senator Walker votes nay. Senator J. City. Senator J. City votes aye. Senator Sawyer. Senator Sawyer votes nay. Senator Rockwell.
Nay.
Senator Rockwell votes nay. Senator Lego Trooper Boy.
Nay.
Senator Lego Trooper Boy votes nay, even though he just said it. I don't know why I did that. Senator Dakota. Where did he say aye? I didn't see him say it. And then,
Dakota, if you could PM Terrence your vote, I think your mic's not working.
or you can say it in the chat.
Yeah, or that. Because I know he's here. Unless he's stuffing his face with pizza.
Let me go ahead and take Charleston's vote while he sends
Okay.
it. Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston. He's voted aye several times, so I'm going to assume that's what he wants to vote.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're just waiting on Dakota's. He said nay. All right. With 2 in favor, 6 opposed, and 1 abstaining, the bill fails.
All right, thank you, Mr. Secretary. Before we move on really quick, I'd like to ask the senators in the chat to not spam the chat during votes, and please say your vote when it's your time, just to avoid confusion. With that, we will now move on to S1208, the State of Emergency Act of 2017, proposed by Senator J. City. The floor is now open to debate, and Senator Charleston requests the floor 3 times. And he will get it once.
Senator Charleston says, as one of the authors of this great bill, this puts down a procedure for when we are in a state of emergency. I yield.
Would any senator like to request the floor?
I request the floor.
Senator Dakota, you have the floor.
Just to make sure my mic works, I yield.
Okay. Does any other senator request the floor? Do I hear a sufficient second to motion to
All right,
with a second to vote? We will now move on to voting on item 5 S1208. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Senator Webby.
Aye.
Senator Clark.
Aye.
Senator Walker. Senator Walker. Senator Walker votes aye. Senator J. City. Senator J. City votes aye. Senator Sawyer. Senator Sawyer abstains. Senator Rockwell.
Aye.
Senator Rockwell ayes. Senator Lego.
Abstain.
Senator Dakota.
Aye.
All right. Senator Charleston votes aye. With 7 in favor and 2 abstaining, the bill passes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. With that, we will move on to item 6 of the agenda, the Speedy Trial Rights Act by Senator Matthew Charleston. We will now open the floor to debate. Senator Charleston requests the floor and has the floor.
He's Senator Charleston once again says, as the author of this great bill, just make sure that all Americans get a speedy trial, per the Fifth Amendment. I yield.
It's actually the Sixth Amendment. I'd like it to be noted.
All right, it is noted. Would any senator like to request the floor?
I request the floor.
Senator Lego, you have the floor.
I believe that the purpose of this bill is very important, and I agree with what this bill is meant for. But it only has one stipulation for when this act wouldn't apply, and that's if someone commits a high crime listed in one of the further sections. If they weren't able to find a compatible time for both parties, the defendant and the plaintiff, or prosecution, and this went past 1 week, it doesn't say if this act is, if the case is void, or if they need to find a new time for this case. So I would say we need to nay this and add some amendments to it. Thank you, and I yield.
Does any senator request the floor? Senator Sawyer, you have the floor. We don't need another bill telling us what's in the Constitution. The Sixth Amendment guarantees the right of criminal defendants, including the rights to a public trial without unnecessary delay, the right to a lawyer, the right to an impartial jury, and the right to know who your accusers are. We already have that right. I yield. Do any other senators request the floor? Senator Charleston, you have the floor.
Senator Charleston says, this bill puts consequences for those violated of this right. I yield.
Does any other senator request the floor?
Mr. President, I motion we move to a vote.
I second.
With a sufficient second, we will now motion to voting on item 6 of the agenda, S1209. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Senator Webby,
Nay.
Senator Clark,
Nay.
Senator Walker, Senator Walker votes nay. A will. Senator J City. Senator J City votes nay. Senator Sawyer. Senator Sawyer votes nay. Senator Rockwell.
Nay.
Senator Lego Trooper Boy.
Nay.
Senator Dakota.
Nay.
Senator Charleston. With 1 in favor, 8 opposed, the bill fails.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We will now move on to item 7, S1210, the Military Group Ranking Act of 2017, proposed by Chief of Staff Army Arthur J. Hamilton. Does anyone request the floor?
I motion that we silence Charles.
I request.
We'll go ahead and take that motion to request first. Senator Lewis, you have the floor.
This act is well needed. It is a step forward into rebuilding our military and showing our new allies that we're building up once again. And then to also add on that reorganization is one of the key aspects to rebuilding our military. I encourage every senator to vote yay.
Do you yield, Mr. Lewis?
Oh, yeah, I yield, Mr. President.
Senator Pierce, you have the floor. Senator Pierce, you're okay. Senator Pierce has motioned to silence Senator Charleston for the time being. Is there a sufficient second?
I second.
We will now proceed to a vote on Senator Dakota.
Aye.
Senator Rockwell.
Aye.
Senator Lego.
Aye.
Senator Lewis.
Abstain.
Senator Pierce. Senator Sawyer. Senator Walker. All right, Senator Charleston will be silenced for the time being. We will now proceed to voting on item 7 of the agenda, S1210. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Sure. Senator Webby.
Aye.
Senator Clark.
Aye.
Senator Walker.
Senator Walker has voted aye.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on, no.
Oh.
Senator Sawyer did,
Oh.
my bad.
Senator Walker, what's your vote on this bill? He votes abstain, apparently, because he's not responding. Senator J City. Senator J City votes aye. Senator Sawyer.
He said aye for that one.
For the next 2 bills.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and put his in there. Senator Rockwell.
Aye.
Senator Lego.
Aye.
Senator Dakota.
Aye.
Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston votes aye with 8 in favor, 1 abstaining. The bill passes.
Okay. With that, thank you, Mr. Secretary, and we will now move on to item 8 of the agenda, SR 1211, Amendment 27 to the Constitution, proposed by Senator Matthew Charleston.
Mr. President, I request the floor.
You have the floor, Senator.
Thank you. Nothing against Mr. Charleston, but I honestly do not see the point of this amendment. All I have to say is Can we get some useful pieces of legislation, please? I yield the floor, Mr. President.
Does anyone else request the
Mr.
floor?
President, I request the floor.
As Senator Lego was heard first, he will be recognized.
I'm pretty sure we already have a piece of legislation that was passed that restricted the amount of days you must be a citizen for presidency and Congress. So this is like the I forget what bill ahead of us was a little repetitive. The Speedy Trial Act. It's the same exact thing, and we shouldn't move native. Thank you, and I yield.
Senator Rockwell, Charlie Horse, do you still request the floor?
Yes, Mr. President.
You may have it.
Now, I'm not sure if Senator Charleston has actually sat down and read our Constitution, but if he actually does, it's clearly defined in Article 2, Section 1, of which I will post a screenshot in the chat for my good colleague. And if he were to carefully read it, it clearly says, "No person except a citizen of the United States shall be eligible to the office of president. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained to the age of 3 months a member of Roblox and 3 months a citizen of the United States." Now, if we go over to Senator Charleston's amendment, it says the exact same thing. So I don't understand what's the whole point of this amendment. I yield the floor, Mr. President.
Senator Pierce, you have the floor. Does any senator second?
Second the motion. Simply.
Mr. Webby, point of order.
State your point of order.
You are not allowing Charleston to request the floor.
I second that he
Okay, well,
speak on his bill, on only his bill.
all right, Senator Charleston, you have the floor. Senator Charleston says this amendment symbolizes the writing not in the Constitution. It clearly states in the Constitution they can't hold the office. But it doesn't say they can't run. Which is the purpose of my amendment.
I motion to move this to a vote.
I second that motion.
With a sufficient second, we will now proceed to a vote on item 7, SR 1211. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
All right, Senator Webby.
Nay.
Senator Clark.
Nay.
Senator Walker. Senator J. City. Senator J. City votes nay. Senator Rockwell.
Nay.
Senator Lego Trooper Boy.
Nay.
Senator Dakota.
Nay.
Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston votes in favor. With 2 in favor, 6 opposed, and 1 abstaining, the amendment the amendment fails.
That's 2 very different things. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We will now move on to item 9 of the agenda, HR 1201, the False Statement Act, written by Dr. Gatsby. Would any senator like to request the floor?
I request the floor, Mr. President.
Senator Lewis, you are recognized.
Thank you. Just to begin off, this act is one of the most stupidest pieces of legislation I've ever seen. I will repeat myself once again. Can we get some useful pieces of legislation, please? Not only is it downright stupid, but some members of our group will willingly joke around and make, quote, false statements, end quote, and they shouldn't deserve to be prosecuted because of it. To also add, this is just another joke and stunt presented by Gatsby, just like his career.
Do you yield?
I yield, Mr. President.
All right. Does anyone else request the floor?
A motion to proceed.
I second that.
With the sufficient second, we will now proceed to a vote on item 9, HR 1201. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
All right. On item number 9, Senator Webby.
Abstain.
Senator Clark.
Nay.
Senator Walker. Senator Walker. Hold on, let me switch over to the chat. Senator Walker, did you vote? He hasn't said anything, so I guess he abstains. Senator J. City. Okay, Senator Walker votes aye. Senator J. City. Senator J. City abstains. Oh, and just for the record, if you keep saying I in the chat and nay, I'm not going to listen carefully. I'll call your name. Senator Sawyer. All right, Senator Rockwell.
Nay.
Senator Lego.
Nay.
Whoops. Senator Dakota.
Nay.
Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston votes nay. With 1 in favor, 5 opposed, 3 abstaining, the bill fails.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We will now move on to item 10 of the agenda, HR 1202, the Safe Asylum Act proposed by Representative Challenge Project. The floor is now open to debate.
Request the floor.
Senator Lego, you have the floor.
To me, what this bill looks like is it's just saying people from allied nations are allowed to immigrate into our country, which, if I'm correct, is already allowed. So this act seems completely and utterly pointless. If there's something I'm missing, I welcome any other senator to point it out, and I yield.
Does any other senator request the floor? With that, we will proceed to a vote on item 10, HR 1202. Mr. Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Senator Webby.
Abstain.
Senator Clark.
Yay.
Senator Walker. Senator Walker votes nay. Senator J. City. Senator J. City votes nay. Senator Sawyer. Senator Sawyer votes in favor. Senator Rockwell.
Nay.
Senator Lego.
Nay.
Senator Dakota.
Nay.
And Senator Charleston. All right, with 2 in favor, 5 opposed, and 2 abstaining, the bill fails.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We will now proceed to item 11 of the agenda, HR 1203, the Stolen Valor Act of 2017, proposed by Representative Combatant. We will now open the floor to debate.
I request the floor.
Senator Good. Senator Dakota, you now have the floor.
One thing I want to say about this bill, I feel like this is a very well-needed bill, especially to protect the values and honor of the members of our military. And I know Combatant can speak well for that, as he has served in numerous branches of the armed forces, and I as well served alongside him. So I recommend that my fellow senators vote A on this bill. Floor.
Does any senator request?
I request the floor.
You have the floor.
This bill basically protects, like Dakota said, it protects the, excuse me, the values of our veterans and those serving in the armed forces. I believe this is a very important bill, especially at the time where our military is developing and thriving. And we're pretty much creating a whole new military that this nation has never seen before. And that's why I believe this bill is so important to us today. Thank you, and I yield.
Does anyone else request?
I motion to proceed.
We will now proceed with the vote on item 11, HR 1203. Mr. Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Senator Webby.
Aye.
Senator Clark.
Aye.
Senator Walker. Senator Walker votes aye. Senator Jason. Senator J. City votes aye. Senator Sawyer. Senator Sawyer votes aye. Senator Rockwell.
Aye.
Senator Lego.
Aye.
Senator Dakota.
Aye.
Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston votes aye in the chat with 9 in favor, none opposed, none abstaining. The bill passes.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. And the thing broke. That's cool. We will now move on to item 12, HR 1204, the Revised Nonpartisan Intelligence Act of 2017, authored by Director Gatsby. Before we open the floor to debate, Mr. Walsh would like to speak on behalf of the bill without any...
But against it.
Oh, against? Okay. On the other half of the bill, do any senators object? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, with a majority of senators in favor, Mr. Walsh, you may now speak on the bill.
Yeah, so really quickly, the first thing I noticed is, well, Dr. Gatsby showed me this bill not too long ago. And at the time, he had only had the CIA, the FBI, and DHS, I believe, on this list. But recently, I noticed that he added the National Security Council, which I suppose he means every single member on the National Security Council. And pretty much the purpose of this bill is to keep members and agencies from Section 3 from participating in activities in Section 4, like running for political office or running as a nomination. But if the president and vice president sit on the National Security Council, this bill essentially states that they are not allowed to run for office, election to a partisan office. So it makes no sense to me why he didn't add some section stating, hey, here's an exception because these guys are in elected office. So I think it makes a lot of sense to fail this bill and send it back to the author for editing, and I yield.
I request the floor,
All
Mr.
right.
President.
Senator Lewis, you have the floor.
As Mr. Walsh was saying, that how if the president and vice president and such as like Secretary of State sit on the Security Council, and them being political figures, they are barred from running for office, which is, it's stupid. We all know from common sense that those figures are to run for political office. But then I also see this act is completely useless, once again, authored by Dr. Gatsby. I think that members of the CIA, FBI, DHS, CSS, and National Security Council should not be barred from running for political office. And I yield, Mr. President.
All right. Do any other senators request the floor? Senator Dakota, you have the floor.
As Mr. Walsh and Mr. Lewis has stated, he should revise this bill if he were to try to pass it again, excluding the National Security Council or being more specific. Now, as Mr. Lewis said, it's kind of pointless due to the fact that they should be able to run for political office. Personally, I'm neutral to this bill, but it is useful, but it is also useless in both ways. I'm going to have to abstain, so I recommend my fellow senators either abstain or nay. I yield the floor.
All right. Do any other senators request the floor?
I motion to a vote.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
With a sufficient second, we will now proceed to voting on item 12, HR 1204. Will the secretary please call the roll?
All right, Senator Webby.
Abstain?
Senator Clark.
Nay.
Senator Walker. Senator Walker abstains. Senator Jasity. Senator Jasity votes nay. Senator Sawyer. Senator Sawyer votes nay. Senator Rockwell.
Abstain.
Senator Rockwell abstains. Senator Lego Trooper Boy.
Nay.
Senator Lego votes nay. Senator Dakota.
Abstain.
Senator Charleston. Senator Charleston votes nay. With 5 people against, 4 abstaining, and none in favor, the bill fails.
All right. That will conclude the agenda. Would any senators like to request the floor in closing remarks?
I request the floor.
Senator Lewis, you have the floor.
Actually, this is kind of just side talk, but how come the vice presidential nomination was not placed?
Just to clarify, it was not placed because
We received it like an hour before the session.
that, and it was recommended that we will there will be a motion on the nomination, so we weren't going to go ahead and vote on it.
The Government Oversight Committee will probably have a committee meeting on that anyways, once we get a chair. I'm sorry, I'm speaking out of turn.
Yeah, it's.
I yield, Mr. President.
All right. Does anyone else request the floor? You have the floor.
I think today's session went fairly well. In the beginning, it was a little chaotic though, but that's to be expected with these types of sessions. I feel like our Congress this term is going to be very strong, probably stronger than most others we've had in the past couple terms, and I yield. Thank you.
All right. Does anyone request the floor?
I vote to adjournment.
Before doing that, I'm going to go ahead and yield the floor to yield the chair to Senator Dakota, and I'd like to make a motion.
You have the floor.
I'd like to motion to send nomination 1216 Dmitry Ustinov for Vice President of the United States to a Senate committee, a joint Senate committee rather than a specific committee, a special committee. That's the word.
I would like to second that motion.
With a second, it passes.
Okay, I'm going to take the floor, or take the chair back. We will now vote on a special committee for the vice presidential nominee. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Senator Lewis, Senator Sawyer. Senator Sawyer votes aye.
Nay.
Okay, okay, Senator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Can you count?
Yeah, we're gonna say yes. So the vice presidential nominee, nominee, will go to a special committee chaired by the president pro tempore, and that will be decided at a later date on the time and place. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I second.
All right, with the second to motion to adjourn, we will now adjourn at that's just not close, at 8:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and a further date to be posted. Thank you all very much, and we're out.